Okay, so now apparently there is some division amongst the ranks of Kendrick Perkins and what used to be one of LeBron's number one fanboys out here in the media.
Yeah.
Few people in the media used to ride harder for LeBron than Kendrick Perkins, but Kendrick Perkins also prides himself on trying to do his job honestly. And it looks like in lieu of doing his job honestly, he's made LeBron feel some type of way because LeBron unfollowed Kendrick Perkins on Twitter, and that made so many ways that they was talking about it on TV. They dedicated a segment of First Take to talking about the fact that LeBron unfollowed Kendrick Perkins on Twitter,
That's
X,
right.
whatever you want to call it. So what was I gonna say? So yeah, this happened. This is more LeBron James passive aggressiveness, I would say. But yeah, they actually talked about it on TV. So another Lebanon topic here. So this says Kendrick Perkins fires shots at LeBron, calls him sensitive for unfollowing him. Every time a prominent NBA player follows or unfollows another prominent NBA player, the Twitter account NBA Alerts announces the change. Throughout a season, there are many good reasons why media people are active athletes and active athletes might follow and unfollow one another, but occasionally an update sticks out. LeBron James reportedly made the decision to unfollow several users on X on Friday, including ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins, Ben Simmons, and Blake Griffin. On Monday, the First Take crew made the perplexing choice to discuss LeBron James unfollowing ESPN commentator Kendrick Perkins on social media for 12 minutes. On his podcast, Mind the Game, a few days prior to the NBA Finals, LeBron James gave Dallas Mavericks player Kyrie Irving kudos for reaching the championship round once more. James complimented him and said that although he was happy for him, um, James complimented him and said that although he was, so that's an incomplete sentence. In the 2016 NBA Finals, the two helped the Cleveland Cavaliers pull off an incredible comeback victory over the Golden State Warriors. Perkins called James out for purposefully interrupting the discourse, as Perkins understood the remark to be. LeBron apparently unfollowed Perk after this comment. Then on Monday, First Take invited Perkins to discuss being unfollowed despite the NBA Finals going on. So that. This is a brief snippet from that segment of them talking about LeBron unfollowing Kendrick Perkins.
Imagine unfollowing me on Twitter, but you still got to wake up and watch me on TV every day because I ain't going nowhere. That's number one. Number two, I think LeBron James got sensitive over the last couple weeks because I've been calling him out or have to speak on certain things that he may disagree with, like the firing of Darvin Ham or the coaching search for the Lakers, or even having to touch on the Bronny James situation when it comes down to dealing with the draft. At the end of the day, no one, everyone on this television, including USA, because you and I over the last 3 years, and Molly, you can contest to this, we have been going back and forth. And name me somebody, probably other than Shannon, that has been coming on here lobbying and defending for LeBron James like I have been on the basketball side of things.
Totally true.
And a certain,
Totally true.
in a few times that I disagree with you, you get in your feelings and you don't pick up the phone and hit me up or send me a text. And you know the disappointing part about it is that I get a call or text from Rich Paul. Bron, I've been knowing you since 1999, brother. We played AAU basketball together. We played against each other in AAU basketball. We played in the McDonald's All-American game together. We was in the same draft. Like, you have my phone number. Like, if you had a problem with anything I said, and we could have picked up the phone and had a conversation. But instead, you took to the pub. You knew the world was gonna see it eventually that you unfollowed me because they have all these stalkers that have their stuff on the internet. I don't know. Like, we're living in weird times. No, seriously, ain't that crazy? that you can unfollow somebody and it sends an alert to somebody to let the world know that you unfollowed them. We're living in weird times at the moment.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are living in very weird times. So that was Kendrick Perkins' take on this. Um, so just to back up real quick, originally on LeBron's podcast with JJ Redick, LeBron was talking about how he's happy that Kyrie's made it to the finals. And he's happy for him in this moment, but he's also mad because he's not playing with Kyrie anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendrick Perkins was like, here's LeBron trying to, steal the spotlight to put some attention onto himself when the person we should be giving the flowers to is Kyrie Irving. That's what started the whole thing. And then I guess LeBron didn't appreciate that and he unfollowed Kendrick Perkins. And then there they go talking about it on First Take. So this is the latest saga in LeBron James passive aggressiveness 101. But I'll let you speak for yourself. What do you think about LeBron unfollowing Kendrick Perkins and just this whole situation in general?
Yeah, I think this was just the straw that broke the camel's back for LeBron. I think Kendrick does have a point. He's been definitely unmuting over the last couple months and speaking his mind a lot more. He doesn't sound like a LeBron talking piece anymore. So he started to sound like he's having his own opinion lately. And I think I think the other ones, LeBron clearly heard. It made its shockwaves through the media, whatever Kendrick said. And so this one, however, I think this was the one that got to LeBron because I'm pretty sure LeBron was like, look, he's not stopping this. He's gonna keep doing this now. And I'm done with him now. Because like as he mentioned, the firing of Darvin Ham, super foul, bro. We called this during the season when they was putting Darvin Ham on a hot seat.
That's
And
right.
we called that he's gonna get fired.
Yep.
And so sure enough, when it happened, Perk said something, and rightfully so, man. The whole way that went down was just
It's
fraudulent.
disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It shouldn't have went down like that. But they did it. So he said something about that. I guess that's very understandable. The Bronny stuff, when they was throwing the Bronny stuff on the thing every time, showing his combine performance when he has 3 points. And he's like, yo, we don't show anybody else like this. Why are we doing this? I'm pretty sure LeBron's like, okay, bro, you need to calm down with all of this. Yeah. This one here, I agree with Perkins to a degree, but I feel like this was a stretch. And I felt like now he's just calling LeBron out for the sake of calling him out. Because, I agree, but this is a podcaster. What do you want him to say about Kyrie? Something negative? So, yes. Was that last year? Every year, actually, when LeBron loses in the playoffs, he'll try to steal thunder. I remember, so that was last year when the Nuggets won the finals, and they were he's out there throwing out narratives trying to take away from the Nuggets shine, and then the Nuggets coach called that out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's obvious to people who are objective of LeBron's behavior. So this was a situation where he's mentioning Kyrie, so he is doing his little passive aggressive little weird thing so he can be in the news cycle type of stuff. He did that. And Perkins, instead of just playing this on a fence, just leans all the way into it like, yeah, he's doing it again. Because I don't think this is similar to what he was trying to do last year in the finals, but it might be. But I still feel like LeBron's like, look, he's going that far with this. He's going to do this on the next one and the next one or whatever. So our affiliation, our broship, is over. And last thing I'll say before I let you go, I think Perkins, because I know a lot of these guys, because there's a lot of these basketball podcast dudes I listen to. Too Raw for Sports, Ticket TV, amongst other angry basketball hoops. It's some dudes out there I listen to, and good dudes, solid. And they be talking about all of this stuff, and they're anti-narrative. So whenever ESPN is doing their narrative, here they come on YouTube to unravel it. And so they talk about it a lot that, people like Bomani Jones, people like, what's that boy name? LeBron. What's that boy name? He be working with Nick Wright and them. on Fox. The black
Oh,
dude,
Chris
Broussard.
Broussard. Chris
Yeah,
Broussard.
they said Broussard and them listening. Rob Parker. They said, I know y'all be listening. Y'all be stealing our talking points, and which is probably true. And one thing that I've been hearing about Perk lately is he's been taking a lot of these internet talking points where people are just against all of this media. And so what Perkins has been doing is like, hey, look, because they're looping him in with him being the part of the machine. And so Stephen A. Smith and Perkins have both gone mutiny. You know, Stephen A. was always on the fence with it, you know what I'm saying? But he'll play into it. But now he's gone completely rogue. And now Perkins gone rogue because they're losing popular opinion with people that matter, you know, our cohort.
Yeah.
You know, the young kids, they're going to be under the brainwashing spell, but people that can actually think for themselves are actually looking at this and going, y'all are sellouts for LeBron? Like, what are y'all on payroll? So, yeah, so Perk has really unmuted and stepped out, and I'm proud of the man. You know, the checks ain't worth it, man. Not for your dignity, bro, because people are going to look at you in history and call you a LeBron, you know, glazer. And you don't want to be lumped in that category, man. You want to be seen as your own man with an objective opinion. So, well done, Perk. And I stand with Perk. But what are your thoughts, man, on this whole dynamic, man? LeBron unfollowing Perkins. Machines out there telling us that this is happening. Like, what's going on, man?
Like, you can say that what is LeBron supposed to say is, you know, he's on his podcast and they asked him about Kyrie, but it is also his podcast. So he has carte blanche on what gets discussed and what gets asked and what gets talked about. And that still got brought up so that he can address that and make that point that he'd still like to be playing with Kyrie. My point is, I don't put anything past LeBron. I think LeBron is a calculated individual who doesn't get enough credit for how calculated he is. Unless you're actually an objective person in the media, to your point. You mentioned Chris Broussard. I would add Chris Broussard to the mutiny. I don't know if you've been watching that show on Fox lately, that First Things First. But Broussard be leaning into the Lakers, and in a quasi way, he kind of be on the anti-LeBron side of certain debates and topics, depending on what it is that they're talking about. So I would lump Broussard into that group as well, because Broussard was flagrantly pro LeBron when he was on ESPN, to the point that it was just disgustingly nauseating. I couldn't stand it. But he's definitely put his foot off the gas on that in recent years. Nick Wright is the one person who I would say arguably, like,
it's disgusting.
Kendrick Perkins was like, I don't know, besides Shannon Sharp, who has been more pro LeBron than me in the media. Nick Wright and Shannon Sharp are the two most annoying, disgusting pro LeBron, lacking in objectivity people in the mainstream media today. It's ridiculous. It's almost to a point where, at least with Shannon Sharp is so in the tank that he kind of makes fun of himself with it.
Correct.
Yeah, you know, so I can halfway tolerate Shannon Sharp because he's making fun of himself when he's doing it. But Nick Wright believes this stuff, and he will not. You cannot smoke him out of his hole. No. He is serious. If you disagree with him on his LeBron takes, you're an idiot. And that's the kind of, I just can't stand it. So like whenever they talk about LeBron on that show, I just turn it or mute it until they go to another topic, because he's just, it's too much. I can't stand it. So I mean, LeBron will forever have his minions in the media who do his bidding. And it's such a large amount of them that any dissension is viewed as the enemy. It's a similar dynamic to when we talked about Sha'Carri Richardson, and Sha'Carri Richardson got mad and started talking about how the media is against certain athletes who voice themselves. And it's like, hey, look, girl, ain't nobody against you. You just be doing dumb shit. And so people gonna talk about that. Ain't nobody against you. Like, stop thinking that the world is against you because you have one or two people in the world who aren't reinforcing your echo chambers. And LeBron is in the biggest echo chamber ever created in the history of mankind. Ever. So I'm over it. It's nice to see a lot of other people are over it. His passive aggressiveness has got to go. He has got to go. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will be happy when he retires. Because even though it's still going to happen when he retires, it'll be less noisy. because he ain't an active player no more. So we at that point will no longer have to deal with this championship stuff and what the organization and the teams need to do so that they can put the roster right, so that they can compete because LeBron and expectations and they want to win champ, blah 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 blah, and all of this crap that they keep talking about year after year after year. I'm so tired of it. So just go away and retire, LeBron. It's over. Everybody already thinks you're top 2, top 5, whatever. You got your rings. You scored the most points. Just go away. Go away. I'm
Nah.
sick of this dude. For real, man. I'm sick of this dude. But here's one thing I will say about LeBron. I will gain respect for LeBron when it comes to this Kendrick Perkins dynamic if he actually on his podcast does the one thing that he never does and addresses the situation in person. If him and JJ Redick get on that podcast and LeBron actually addresses unfollowing Kendrick Perkins and talks about it and actually, puts, as Kendrick Perkins likes to say, puts what does he say? Addressing it like the numbers on the house. Like if LeBron actually addresses the situation in person, like the numbers on the house, I'm gonna be like, oh, for once this guy isn't doing something passive aggressively. He's actually acknowledging this thing and addressing it in person on his own platform. If he does that, I'll be like, good for you, LeBron. But I suspect he won't. He'll just do the thing that he always does, which is just quietly do something that he knows people are going to talk about. But then when people ask him about it, he's going to act like, oh, I don't care. I don't even know what y'all talking about. I didn't even unfollow him. That must have been some algorithm thing. That's what he does. He'll just act like he had nothing to do with anything because that's what he does. It's so aggravating. So if he were to actually address this, I would actually respect him for that. But I suspect he won't, and he'll just sweep it under the rug, and it'll just be another one of these passive aggressive things that he does because that's just how he prefers to handle things.
Yeah, we'll see, man. And shout out to Perk for reclaiming his manhood. Yeah, man, standing on business, bro. Because like I was saying, man, in the streets, bro, he was getting dragged by objective people, and they was dragging him on some stuff like, hey, man, where your Nick Cannons at, bro? Because you looking, bro, you looking like, you know what I'm saying? You sold them off. And so it looks like he's reclaiming that right now. I'm proud of him for doing that and doing it like this on air, and letting his takes be known that he's not standing for this garbage anymore, man. Like the placating that the Lakers organization is doing to satisfy this man, the placating the NBA does, and it reaches itself all the way to ESPN and Fox Sports. Like people are really like listening to him and bending the knee to whatever he says because they have in their brains that if they're not on his team, they're not going to get ratings. And so they're into this thing of Lakers, LeBron, Cowboys. And so, what's LeBron doing? What's LeBron doing? And yeah, bro, it is reached to the point where it is nauseating. I mean, it was like that 10 years ago, if you ask me. But now it's really reached its zenith. And last thing I'll say is, yeah, I'm ready for him to retire too. But word on the street, he's going to sign like another 2-year deal.
Yeah, I know.
And if he's got his legs up under him, podcasting, minding the game, bro. Please, bro. These little Rudy Poop plays they drawing up on the little dry erase board, and that's supposed to make JJ Redick, Pat Riley.
Yes.
Them little plays they doing. Now, this is a down screen. Now on a down screen. No, see, now you're gonna come around, and it's like, oh, that's deep. And then if you go in the comment section, oh man, they're breaking down the X's and O's. And it's like, man, like, where are these bots commenting? Like, what are we watching? What are we witnessing? So yeah, man, the next Pat Riley, JJ Redick, you know what I'm saying? Who knows, man? Lakers coach to be, we'll see, man. But this whole fiasco and concert, a lot of parts of it I laugh, because what else I'm gonna do? So I laugh at a lot of this, but yes, man, it is getting to the point where it's like, come on, bro, give everybody a break. but he's got to be in the cycle, bro.
He's got to be.
in
He's got to be.
and we're going to be here, all right, to neutralize it. So whenever there's something, so well, y'all are talking about it. Trust me, sir. Our job here is to neutralize this. So and put some proper discord out there so people can, yay, I ain't the only person that could see this guy for the clown he is. Exactly. So yeah, we're out here providing an ointment. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, yeah, he'll have his legs under him and he'll continue to be a presence, a steady presence because of his podcast. But at least I won't have to deal with the annoying basketball stuff anymore. Like the annoying basketball narratives will at least go away because he can't be he can't possibly contend for championships if he's retired. If they figure out a way to make him a championship contender in retirement, then at that point I give up. I'm gonna just stop watching sports altogether if they figure out how to make that happen.
I would ban the NBA. I would ban them.
Hey man, countdown to the retirement, LeBron, right here.
Hey, shout out to Kendrick Perkins though.
Yeah.